Have you ever tried everything to lose weight? Strict diets, exhausting workouts, even those miracle plans all over the internet? But the scale just won't budge? You're frustrated, wondering why your body seems so stubborn despite all your effort. The real culprit is often something most people overlook: your liver. When it's overloaded with toxins, excess sugar, and bad fats, it can't properly burn fat anymore. Instead, your body switches to survival storage mode. Every extra calorie turns into stubborn belly fat, no matter how little you eat. But here's the amazing news. You can reverse this quickly and naturally. With just 7 everyday foods, simple, affordable items you can grab from any grocery store, you'll help your liver detox, cleanse, and reignite its powerful fat-burning ability. Thousands of people have seen visible belly fat loss in just weeks by following this correctly. In today's video, I'll reveal each food in detail, the best way to use them, and the exact order for fastest results, especially the final 7 tip that many call their secret weapon for dropping 8 to 10 pounds of fat in the first month. Watch until the end, because I'll share a simple daily schedule you can start tomorrow without overhauling your routine. If this sounds helpful, hit the subscribe button now so you don't miss future videos on liver health and lasting weight loss. And drop a comment below saying, "I want to burn liver fat." I'll reply to everyone and share personalized tips if you need them. Let's get started. Food 1. Lemon water. When you wake, your liver hasn't been idle. It's been idling. For hours you haven't eaten, and the bile meant to flush waste has stagnated. This stillness turns bile thick. By sunrise, your liver struggles to pump waste through a substance resembling sludge rather than fluid. This congestion instantly paralyzes your fat-burning potential. Your morning drink isn't just hydration, it's a manual override for your body's metabolic engine before metabolism even has a chance. The initial liquid you consume dictates your metabolic destiny. Lemon water sends an unmistakable biological signal. Its sharp acidity triggers your digestive system, forcing the liver and gallbladder to purge that stagnant bile. You want fresh, thin, high-velocity bile. Waste trapped overnight finally exits the system instead of recirculating into your bloodstream. This isn't just a trend, it is a tactical flush. By thinning the bile, you unlock the gates for efficient fat metabolism before your first bite of breakfast even arrives, naturally and efficiently. Beyond movement, lemons provide a chemical shield. They pack protective compounds your liver utilizes to neutralize daily environmental toxins. To optimize this morning ritual, follow this protocol. Squeeze half a fresh lemon into 10 ounces of room temperature water. Warmth respects your digestive tract's morning sensitivity. Avoid boiling water. Extreme heat destroys the very enzymes your liver craves. Consume this immediately upon waking, prior to any coffee or solid food. You want this to be the very first chemical message your internal organs receive. This timing ensures the bile starts moving before your system gets busy fully. Protect your enamel by using a straw and rinsing with plain water afterward. If the acidity feels aggressive, simply dilute it further. The potency remains. Your liver still registers the signal. For maximum impact, toss the peel directly into the glass for a few minutes. This allows essential oils to infuse the water, providing an extra layer of hepatic support that most people completely throw in the trash. Sip it throughout the day or before meals to aid digestion, but never skip the dawn dose. Food 2, coffee. Now that you've shown your liver how to wake up in the morning, the next step is keeping that momentum going. Your liver relies on a network of natural enzymes to break down fat and neutralize the chemicals you're exposed to every single day. The problem is, for many adults, those enzymes have gone quiet. Years of excess sugar, medications, and ultra-processed foods force the liver to work overtime, dulling its enzymatic response. Fat burning slows not because your body's broken, but because the signal is weak. This is where coffee comes in, and not for the reason most people think. The benefit has very little to do with caffeine. Coffee is loaded with antioxidants, especially chlorogenic acid, and for most adults, it is actually their primary daily source of antioxidants. These compounds act like a biological switch. They signal the liver to reactivate its enzyme systems so it can resume breaking down fat and clearing toxins instead of letting them accumulate. Once those enzymes are active again, the liver can do what it was designed to do: burn fat efficiently while processing chemical waste out of the body. And the benefits don't stop there. Large population studies consistently show that regular coffee drinkers develop significantly less liver scarring over time. Those same antioxidants calm chronic irritation before it progresses into fibrosis. One of the most striking findings is this: consistent coffee consumption is associated with up to a 70% lower risk of death from chronic liver disease. Most people have no idea their daily cup is doing that much quiet protection behind the scenes. If you're going to use coffee strategically, timing matters. I recommend drinking it after your lemon water, not before. Lemon water gets bile flowing and the digestive system moving first. Then coffee comes in and activates the liver's enzyme machinery so it can actually use those antioxidants. I usually have mine after a workout or once my system is already awake. Keep your coffee as clean as possible. Black is best. Choose organic beans whenever you can, because coffee plants absorb more pesticides than many other crops. Avoid syrups, artificial sweeteners, and chemical creamers. They only add to the liver's workload. If you want flavor, use a clean organic creamer, a splash of full-fat cream, a touch of pure monk fruit, or a collagen protein powder. Cinnamon is another smart addition, with the added benefit of supporting blood sugar control. Most people see the strongest liver benefits in the 1 to 3 cup range per day, depending on tolerance. If you're sensitive to caffeine, a half calf or a clean Swiss water decaf still delivers many of the same antioxidant signals. I usually suggest avoiding flavored decaf, since those often involve harsh chemical solvents. When used this way, coffee stops being just a habit and becomes one of the simplest daily tools you have for supporting your liver and keeping fat burning switched on. Food 3. Cruciferous vegetables. Now that your liver is finally moving again, the next challenge is volume. All day long, your liver is filtering what you breathe, what you drink, what touches your skin, and the metabolic waste your own body produces. Even with a clean diet, that load never stops. Household chemicals, airborne pollutants, residues in food and water, they all funnel through the same system. When that burden stacks up faster than your liver can clear it, fat burning quietly slows down. This is where cruciferous vegetables step in as a true metabolic ally. They don't just support the liver, they help it keep pace. In one well-known study conducted in a densely populated region of China, participants consumed a simple drink made from broccoli sprouts. Within just 24 hours, their bodies began clearing airborne toxins at a significantly higher rate. That's not coincidence. It's biology responding to a signal. That signal is called NRF2. Think of NRF2 as the master switch your liver uses to activate its internal defense system. When NRF2 turns on, your liver ramps up production of its most powerful antioxidant, glutathione. I often describe glutathione as the body's street sweeper, especially for the liver. It binds to toxins your liver has already identified, neutralizes them, and packages them safely so they can exit through bile and urine instead of lingering and slowing metabolism. Once NRF2 is activated, your liver becomes faster and more efficient at clearing buildup that normally blocks fat burning. And here's what most people don't realize: the switch doesn't flip off quickly. After you eat cruciferous vegetables, those detox genes stay active for 48 to 72 hours. That's why small, consistent servings can create outsized results over time. I aim to include these vegetables every single day. A practical target is about 2 servings daily, or roughly 100 to 300 grams, depending on how much support your liver needs. The best options include broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, kale, and cauliflower. And if you want to get maximum benefit, here's a simple but powerful tip. Chop your vegetables and let them sit for 30 to 60 minutes before cooking. That short resting period allows sulforaphane, the compound that activates NRF2, to fully form. When you do this, it stays active even during cooking, giving your liver a stronger signal when you eat them. In my own kitchen, we keep these vegetables pre-cut in a bowl in the fridge at all times. That way, they're easy to grab, cook quickly, or eat raw with a simple dip. When your liver has the tools to clear its workload efficiently, Fat burning no longer stalls, it flows. Food 4. Dandelion root. Now that bile is finally moving again, your liver faces a deeper problem: congestion. This is the slow, heavy pressure that builds when bile hasn't flowed properly for a long time. Even when movement returns, residue remains. That backlog weighs the liver down and quietly steals energy from fat burning. Dandelion root has been used for centuries to address this exact issue, long before anyone understood the word bile. What makes dandelion root so effective is its bitterness. That bitter taste activates receptors in your gut, which immediately signal the liver and gallbladder to release fresh bile, the kind that flows easily instead of thickening and backing up again. This is where dandelion stands apart from the foods we've already covered. It doesn't just stimulate bile temporarily, it helps retrain the liver to produce healthier bile over time, so congestion doesn't keep returning. And when the liver stops falling behind, it can redirect its energy toward fat burning instead of damage control. Dandelion root also soothes the liver tissue itself. When bile sits too long, it irritates the liver from the inside. The compounds in dandelion help calm that irritation, allowing the liver to process meals without feeling overwhelmed every time you eat. A calmer liver is a more efficient liver. If you decide to use dandelion, focus on the root, not the leaf. That's where the liver-supporting compounds are concentrated. I typically recommend brewing 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried dandelion root in hot water for 10 to 15 minutes. For stronger support, 2 to 3 cups per day can be used for a short period. If tea isn't practical, a tincture or powder works well. About 1 teaspoon of dandelion root tincture in water, up to 3 times daily. And if bitterness is an issue, adding a squeeze of lemon or using capsules made from whole dandelion root can make it much easier. Timing matters here. I suggest taking dandelion before meals, especially before your largest meal of the day. That's when bile demand is highest and liver support matters most. Once congestion starts to clear, the liver regains breathing room, and fat burning becomes far easier to sustain. Next, I'll walk you through foods that help your liver finish clearing what's been stuck for years and move fully into repair mode. Food 5. Black radish. Even when your liver finally starts working the way it's meant to, there's still one hidden problem most people never hear about: the backlog. This is the waste your liver has been holding on to for years, simply because it never had the capacity to finish the job. Identification alone isn't enough. Things must actually leave, and this is where black radish becomes one of the most overlooked yet powerful tools for liver clearance. Black radish is a dense root with a dark, rugged outer skin and crisp white flesh inside. Its sharp, peppery bite is a clue. That intensity comes from compounds your liver uses when it's completing detox work it already started but couldn't finish. Those compounds break down into isothiocyanates, chemical tags that attach to toxins and mark them for removal. Once tagged, waste can finally be bundled, transported, and escorted out of the body instead of lingering and slowing fat burning. Here's the simplest way to understand its role. Cruciferous vegetables help your liver identify what needs to be cleared. Black radish helps your liver move it out. It supports the final exit steps, packaging waste so it can leave through bile and digestion. That's why black radish was once the most common radish across Europe. During long winters filled with heavy foods and slower digestion, people relied on it instinctively. They didn't know the chemistry. They just noticed their bodies handled dense meals better when black radish was part of the plate. If you want to use black radish, start with the fresh root if you can find it. Peel off the thick black skin before eating. Red radishes also work and contain many of the same supportive compounds, and they're often easier to tolerate. If possible, leave some of the green stems attached. The greens contain additional nutrients your liver can use. You can slice the root and eat it raw, or grate 1 to 2 tablespoons into a salad or warm dish. That amount is enough to signal the liver without overwhelming your system. Food 6. Artichoke. Even when your liver is moving better and clearing waste more efficiently, one critical factor still determines whether fat burning lasts: the condition of the liver cells themselves. Flow alone isn't enough. If liver cells remain irritated, inflamed, or worn down, the liver shifts into defense mode. Most of its energy goes toward protection and repair, not metabolism. And when that happens, fat burning slows, no matter how clean the rest of your routine looks. This is where artichoke does something the other foods can't. Artichoke supports the cells of the liver, not just the pathways. It contains several protective compounds, with one standing out above the rest: cynurin. Cynurin helps calm irritated liver cells, giving them the space they need to repair ongoing damage. As irritation drops, those cells regain their ability to respond to metabolic signals properly. That means calories are handled with precision instead of being diverted into storage, and fat burning becomes far more reliable over time. Using artichoke can be very simple. The most straightforward option is to eat the whole artichoke heart. Steamed or roasted works best, and pre-roasted artichokes from a jar are perfectly fine for convenience. Most people tolerate artichoke extremely well. Just be mindful of how you use it. A spinach artichoke dip paired with a pile of chips doesn't support liver repair. Artichoke works best as part of a real meal, on top of chicken, mixed into vegetables, or paired with a modest amount of healthy fat. It's a staple in our kitchen. If you're aiming for the stronger liver benefits seen in research, artichoke leaf extract is the most effective option. The leaves contain the highest concentration of cynurin, which is why most clinical studies use them, rather than the heart alone. Capsules or tinctures made from the leaves work well, and you don't need large doses. Simply follow the recommended serving size. And if you're cooking whole artichokes, don't ignore the outer leaves. They often contain more liver-supporting compounds than the heart itself. When liver cells are calm and resilient, fat burning stops being a struggle and starts becoming automatic. Food 7. Garlic. When it comes to fat burning, there is one signal powerful enough to shut the entire process down, and that signal is insulin. If your liver stops responding to insulin correctly, it automatically defaults to storage mode. Calories get parked as fat instead of being burned for fuel. And when that switch flips, it can override every positive change you've made up to this point, no matter how clean your diet looks. This is where garlic quietly steps in as a biological reset. It's simple, unassuming, and one of the oldest healing foods on record. Long before anyone understood hormones or liver function, ancient healers reached for garlic when people felt sluggish, bloated, or backed up. Today, we recognize those sensations for what they are: classic signs of insulin resistance. Garlic's power comes from a compound called allicin, the same molecule responsible for its unmistakable smell. Allicin helps restore the liver's sensitivity to insulin by calming internal irritation and improving the microcirculation liver cells depend on. When those cells can finally hear insulin again, they stop shuttling calories into storage and begin releasing them as usable energy. Fat burning doesn't need to be forced. It resumes naturally once the signal is clear. Garlic also plays a direct role in reducing fat stored inside the liver itself. Research shows that hepatic fat often needs to drop before visible body fat loss can accelerate. Clearing fat from the liver removes a critical brake on metabolism, allowing progress to finally move forward. For best results, fresh garlic is ideal. Mince 1 clove and let it sit on the counter for about 10 minutes before adding it to food. That brief resting period allows allicin to fully activate. If raw garlic feels too strong, lightly saute it or blend it into foods like hummus. You'll still deliver the signal without overwhelming your palate. If supplements are more practical, choose products containing aged garlic extract or stabilized allicin. These are the forms your liver recognizes and responds to most effectively. Timing isn't critical here. Consistency is. When garlic becomes a regular part of your routine, insulin signaling stabilizes, liver fat begins to clear, and fat burning stops feeling like a battle your body's determined to win against you. You can absolutely add every one of these foods into your daily routine, and for many people, that alone creates noticeable change. But I need to be honest with you. If you're still eating the foods that quietly shut your liver down, you're fighting an uphill battle, even if you're doing everything else right. There are common foods people eat every single day, often believing they're healthy, that slow bile flow, trigger low-grade inflammation, and force the liver back into fat storage mode. And chances are at least one of them is already in your kitchen. That's why I created the next video for the Senior Health Guard community. In it, I walk you through the 7 everyday foods that sabotage liver function and block fat loss, especially after 50. These are the hidden roadblocks that undo progress, drain energy, and keep belly fat stubbornly in place, even with clean eating. If this video helped you understand your body better, please tap like and share it with someone who needs this message. Subscribe to Senior Health Guard for practical, science-based guidance you can actually use. And most importantly, leave a comment below. Tell me your age, where you're watching from, and your biggest challenge right now: belly fat, fatigue, digestion, or blood sugar. I read every comment, and your answers guide what I cover next.